So Al Gore uses this war terminology that we have to mobilize like we did in World War II. But I think a big part of this change is decreasing the military budget, maybe even eliminating it and putting it into creating this world energy grid. Buckminster Fuller wrote a book called Critical Path in which he visualized this world energy grid, and it's very much the same as what Al Gore is saying as far as using wind power and other forms of solar energy in order to make this grid happen. The key to Buckminster Fuller's plan is that there would be a global system. So we need to move beyond nationalism into a global system, because for Buckminster Fuller's grid to work, you need this unity so that the energy can flow throughout the world. It doesn't get stopped in one nation state. It flows throughout the world. And I really feel that we could experiment with solar-powered satellites, beaming energy from outer space. There are other ways that we can envision how this worldwide grid could function. This is Al Gore's home in Tennessee, and after he won the Nobel Peace Prize, a lot of critics were saying, look at Al Gore's house. He doesn't use alternative energy, and it's a large mansion. Well, since that time, he has installed solar power panels, geothermic energy. He has changed his light bulbs, and he has made his house more energy efficient by changing the window panes and other means to have it so that the energy doesn't escape. Well, he wants to save civilization. What I want to do is change civilization altogether into a new form, so we go into a type 1 civilization. A type 0 civilization is what we have now. It's based on nation states. It has racial problems. It has social inequality, discrimination, poverty, all the things that make it so it's really not very civilized. And anytime you see somebody that's homeless, you can understand that we haven't reached that level of civilization yet. So a type 1 civilization is one that has human rights as the foundation of it. It's a humanitarian superorganism, which means that there's health care for all. It's a global system. There's universal education. And it requires a new order of civilization, a new design, a new pattern of how we live. Al Gore asked us to drop our old habits, to change our lifestyle. Well, the single-family house is what needs to change, the way that Al Gore lives, the mansion. We have to evolve beyond the rich and the poor dualism. We need to get out of that. That causes much problems that if we want to save the climate, we have to realize that we can no longer live with the few using most of the resources in the world while the poor are struggling to get clean air and water and food. So, Mr. Gore, I really challenge you to move out of your house and to get your friends, the super rich, to convince the politicians that it's time to build a 21st century city, an ecological cities. and that just having your private residencies in your secluded country clubs isn't the answer. That's the old pattern, it's the old habit that needs to be broken.